Good morning from Hong Kong. Um, Hate to keep going on about my hydroponics, but it is fun and it's been a challenge. But here on the Bigfoot, we just had a couple weeks of just like rain and just crappy weather. We had two winter monsoons came through. Typhoons were off to the east, and the wind was just, I get the wind coming in for straight. That's due south right there. And so the wind just comes straight over the wall, and it kind of really tore up the choy sum as like a flag flapping in the wind. It just tore up a lot of the leaves. It's coming back. It's been, I don't know, this last week the winds have been not too bad, so it's been growing back up. But yeah, it's the wind tore it up, so we'll see if we get the choy sum back up. Basil is just fantastic. It's kind of bulletproof right now, as long as the nutrients are good. Have not even been checking the pH, just haven't. And I have not been lifting it up, looking at roots, and just letting it grow. And it's doing okay. The butterhead's ready. These are ready to pick it. In fact, they've extended their life, what's it called, bolting, when it starts growing up. But anyway, so I got a drip I got to fix. But the new, again, that's choy sum. This is new butterhead. That's a butterhead. That's a lemon tree. But we got two other butterheads that are here. Now again, this is, the end of July, and it's right in the direct sun. Direct sunshine. The system only runs during the daytime hours. Once the sun goes down, the system is off. So whatever is inside these little cups, for nutrients and water, that's all they get. And then come in the morning, the system goes back on. So, but that's doing good. Now that sorry, it's kind of bright here. But what I've done is we've wet sanded. I've wet sanded down all of these railings and put on another coat of varnish. So we got another coat of varnish on it, and it's the wood's still, it's good, but about every 6 months, like on a wood boat like this, you need to, kind of give it a wet sand and then a nice light coating of, thin coat of varnish, just to keep it good. I don't know, I think the sun, I don't know what the hell the sun does to varnish. I don't know the scientific stuff about it, but anyway, it just seems to get thinner and thinner as the sun beats on it, and I keep keeping everything uniform. But it's doing good again. The forward up here, these are all, that's all been revarnished again, and so I've just got to do the handrails and do that, and still doing work on the inside, and now we've got 2 weeks of more sunshine, so I'm gonna texture the top deck here, anti-skid. I'm gonna do that up on the bow again, so everything's back off, and nothing else is on that deck. So I can do the anti-slip, anti-skid, whatever you call it, and then the one last coat of polyester urethane that's going to be on here. Got the wood for this, so now once it's anti-skid, this wood is going to come off and put that on, and so the top deck will pretty much be finished. And that's the last of like the wood that needs to be repaired up on the top deck. But again, everything is sealed, Silcaflex, got varnish over it. Things are looking really, really good. It's just got a great shine to it. Really saved the wood. Has a lot of scars, but it's the top deck and the bow will be totally complete. It's taken 6 months to do that and get it livable inside. The power's doing good. So the tomato hydroponics, it's just too hot for tomatoes. There's a breed or a variety, if you will, that I've read about it. It's called Sunmaster tomatoes. I guess they were bred in the southwestern part of the United States of America, and they're supposed to love just that really dry heat. But it gets humid here as well. But if I can get those tomato seeds and we start seeding those, and we'll see what happens. But right now we're kind of almost to the apex of our summer here. It's usually like the second week of August to September, we get these really hot spells, hot and humid, and then it starts to cool down, and so we start getting, you know, like 24 to 27 degree days. It's really, really comfortable, and I think the tomatoes are gonna like that. So I'm waiting until that. Plus, I'm still gonna try. One side will be that Sunmaster tomato, and then over on this side, over here on the port side, I'm gonna try a different breed. But so unfortunately, we haven't had the tomatoes, and cooler weather I think is gonna help with it. And I've got the fans. I've got the fans I'm gonna put in here. I'm gonna be putting in fans so because the water kind of, you can see it right here. This is my watermark, and that gives me 15 gallons. So there's my 15 gallons there. And so up here, it's all in airspace. And what happens is when the sun beats on it, even though it's fiberglass and it's marine ply, teak marine ply, plywood on it. It's all polyester urethane in that. But it still gets warmer in here. So if I have just a small fan here, it's filtered. And if I have it filtered, that'll be able to bring in the ambient air, and then the air will just push out the top from where all the expanded clay pellets in the plants are. And so hopefully that'll do it. But that's on there. So it's been a long road. I mean, it's been doing little projects here, and they're major projects, but then there's the little punch list stuff, if you will, to get done. But I mean, it's all just really shiny, and the wood is just taking good. I had ground everything down in the winter months, and it was kind of dry, but there was still some oxidation and moisture that was inside that wood has kind of come up, and I've tried to wet sand it down the best I could, still to maintain it, but it's just looking really good. And now with this, it has 6 coats. There's 6 coats of varnish on it, and now I can do this top deck here, and then get the top deck anti-slip. Then we're all done. And one last thing that I've been thinking about is up here. It's mainly, this top deck is only used when we're at the mooring for entertaining. When we go out, we're going to be mainly using the bow area, because it's going to have seating for 6 to 8 people, plus we can take the barbecue out and mount it up there, somehow. So I can put it in the chain locker and bring it out as we need it, quick screw it down. And mainly stay down on that level, because that's where we're jumping off into the water. Maybe come up here and just jump off the sides in the water, just because it's fun. But up here, I'm trying to contemplate, how am I going to put up more solar panels. And if I go up higher, and I'm starting to get the boat top heavy, because 4 more solar panels is more weight, and it's actually more structure to hold them above the bimini. So I'm just thinking about somehow getting them here. I can still come up, but still get 4 more panels placed here, where underneath the bimini, I've still got some furniture, but I've got 4 panels, and perhaps at the level of the top of the rail here, get the panels so I don't have any shading to them, even though I connect all the solar panels in parallel. Shading on one is not going to affect the other 3. But I'm thinking about getting 4 panels up here and being creative. So even though when it's just, May and I, and perhaps 2 other friends, if we would come sit up here for a sundowner in the evening or something like that, at the mooring. But when we go out to sea, I just shut that hatch, and everything is on the main deck and down on the diving platform. So but that's what's happening here. It's still kind of planning in that, running wires, doing everything, but things are running smoothly. Well, steady by jerks. We're going to say they're steady by jerks, but it's getting there. So, and hydroponics and that plant this evening, that butterhead, is going to be eaten. I got to go fix that leak. It's just around the cup. This leak, I don't want to take it apart, but what it is it comes around here, this little part, and the roots kind of lock it up, and it's hard to get drips. So I may have to redesign that system somehow. But anyway, that's what's going on the Bigfoot with Alan and May here in Hong Kong. Wish everybody be good, be safe, and always be well. Bye-bye. Well, good evening from Hong Kong. I don't know, I think today is the 2nd of August? I don't think it's, yeah. Anyway, I've been doing lots of wet sanding, and I got another coat on the boat here, so this whole top side is done. I will not need to put on another coat for another 6 to probably 8 months. It's just really shiny. I don't know if you can see how shiny that is. I've gone down and probably see because it's probably too bright, but maybe that's not bright enough. Well, anyway, the outside edges today got wet sanded. The railings got wet sanded. The final coat for the next 6 to 8 months. It's really solid now. And then tomorrow I will finish all of the white PU paint, and then it becomes time to do this. Well, you can see it's kind of dirty, but the varnish needs 2 more coats on the sides. But I've been really focused on the railings. The railings and the gunnels have just been so abused over all those years. If you've watched some of my videos here, but you'll see in the beginning, it was just so nasty. So nasty. But now that wood is protected and the oxidations kind of come out, now we wet sanded and varnished, but now it's good and solid. The wood's happy. I've got happy wood now, and that's the key. I need happy wood. That makes Alan happy. Solar panels, we've had days of sunshine. Solar panels have just been my champions. I've got lots of power, and that's good. So, but I still got my barbecue grill on my table there, but everything's ready to get the texture coat. This is definitely ready for a texture coat, so I can use masking tape, get it off, get the silica sand in, and start going to town on that. This wood is going to come off on Wednesday. All of this wood here is going to come off, and she's going to start getting a new coat, so it'll all look nice and shiny like this, and my mast is. And so the wood's doing good, but the hydroponics, again, is doing well. Basil on the top is just happy. Choysum is just growing like a weed. I'm looking, because again, I've just learned that, you know, hydroponics here in Hong Kong, I've just got to follow the temperatures of you know, my environment here. And it's, the choysum works. Butterhead lettuce, as you can see, the butterhead lettuce, in the summertime, it does grow with all our sunshine here and the high heats. It does grow, but it does bolt. It does bolt, and I have no problem with it bolting. I mean, look at it. As I said in the last video, I was going to eat this one, and I did. And so now this one, after the transplant, she's not looking too happy, but hopefully it comes back. But yeah, but the butterheads do bolt here with the heat. It's, you know, 33 to 35 degrees C. So they do bolt, but I mean, they're growing, and it's great on a sandwich. It's great in a salad. I'm just happy it's growing, because I've had so many problems. And the new plants, I mean, I can't get a full head in 28 days because of the heat, and it does grow slowly with this heat. It just doesn't like it, but I'm learning as I fall on my face. These new basil plants are growing up. I mean, I'm making so much pesto. I'm asking my friend Ken in Key West, give me some new recipes. How can I use up all this basil? But I've got basil that's actually, you know, in soil. I've got the basil up here. I've just got so much basil, it's coming out my ears. But, you know, I'm asking all kinds of my mates, you know, what else can we do with the basil? So anyway, but that's going good. And you can never have enough pesto. I mean, who can ever have enough pesto? I've tried it with cashews and with pine nuts. It's just good stuff. But I'm really looking forward for May and I to try the this new batch of choy sum that I had said in the last video. We had a lot of, I don't even know, yeah, here, this one. This one was just like a flag in the wind from that last summer monsoon. But they're all, I mean, it's just, they're growing really fast. So that's growing good. Tomatoes, again, we're going to wait until it cools down. But I'm really looking forward to this next week, because next week I've got on the outside, I did repairs last December, January, and February, and I was really questioning if the wood had moisture behind it. And as you can see, there was moisture behind it, because even after I put on the coat of PU paint, it's bubbled up. And now that we've had these last few days of really, really strong sunshine, it's just boiled out and, you know, steamed out all of that that moisture. So now tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm just going to take the grinder onto it, and I'm going to put fiberglass over the top of it, and so then this outside will be ready as well to do the next week, because I've got a full week of just sunshine, heavy sunshine. And I've got another, yeah, over here, back over here, I've got some more places, because I had put a coat of PU paint over the top, and I needed for the moisture to just, you know, show its ugly face, and it has, and well, that's good, because now we've got this hard sunshine, and it's a really high temperature. I think today was like 34, 35 degrees. So now I can grind it, fiberglass resin over the top of it, grind that down, and start putting on this last coat of PU paint. And that's been a really big focus. Now somebody just got back from being out to sea. I hear disco music. But what I've done is then, also this afternoon, I don't know, you guys, I'm spilling my drink, but I've been reinforcing this, you know, day by day. Again, it's just me and it's big pieces of wood. But we've got this one, I got to take this one out yet. Got a sister underneath this one. This one is just, God, it's a lot of work. But thing is right now, guys, it's solid. It's truly solid back here. And over the next couple weeks, the more that I can finish this side, I can take these boards. You see all these boards. I can start cutting these down, stripping them down, and start getting that in. So when it does rain, even though I have this, you know, some water does come through. I can get that, so any rain that comes through, that it'll just funnel down and come to my drain, so it doesn't go into the bilge where the bilge pump has to take it out when it rains. So once I get this one completed, then I can take out this seat. And I'm going to open up that can of worms. So, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh, see this mess I have here? This is like an old bilge pump that I have. Well, it's not old. It's a new bilge pump. But the bilge pump, I forgot. You're going to laugh at me. You're going to think, Alan, you're an idiot. Yesterday, this plant, this basil plant, what had happened is I got some pretty good holes. Oops. I've got some pretty good holes in the bottom, and I thought, oh, that should be enough. You know, because it's so tight on the sides here that, I mean, that's where all my roots go through. But what had happened is the roots built up on the inside. They didn't go all the way through and, you know, following through the system to, you know, suck up the nutrients. It kind of blocks. It blocks this tube. So what happens is the pressure, because it's 1,500 gallons per hour, what had happened is it comes up and it comes around just on the outside edge. I don't know if I can show you on here. You can see where it's bolting, but this plant here, right around the edge, the water comes up on the outside. and because it kind of comes in, he can't go into this cup that I've made, net cup if you will. And then what'll happen is it'll just go around the outside and it'll bubble up and it'll come out. So what had happened is my tank just dried up. My tank dried up, and I had not, and I was an idiot, I had not installed a bilge pump, or a float switch on the bilge pump. So, I don't know if you can see, there's a bilge pump down here, but I did not have a float switch. So if the water level gets down far enough, it'll automatically shut the pump off. And so as, like on this, as water was just oozing out over the whole course of the day while I was over on my mate's boat helping him do some stuff on, redesigning his bathroom or refitting it, everything was just dripping out. And so now I've installed a float switch. So I don't know if you can kind of see it, maybe if you can hear it. You can hear the pump running. And now, if I put the float switch down, look at that. The pump has stopped and no more water is flowing. So what I've done is when it goes down to about 25%, 25% full, the float switch will fall down and turn off the pump. And then when it's full, it goes up. But I've got a float switch in here. So anyway, so when the float is up and it has enough water, the pump will work. And when it gets down, so there's about 25% capacity or less, the float switch turns off the pump. So I had to do that, and that was again learning. I wanted to put it in the beginning. I'm going, I don't think I'm going to need it. I don't think I'm going to need it. But it burnt out the pump yesterday. The pump died. I came back yesterday, and like all the basil was like, feed me, Seymour, feed me. And so was the lettuce. The lettuce was just all, yeah. But now tonight, I'm going to be eating this one. And it has bolted, I was planning on it bolting because it was really hot, but you see right here, see this one? It's dripping. See that? See, since I've been playing with that and I moved it, see how the water comes out, now it's gonna, so I've got to redesign the system. This is just not working, so I've got to put a little attention to detail. But, and that's what was happening, and it's coming around this. Because the roots are really, really thick. But look at that, it's so tight. It's just so tight. So the thing is, it's time to eat it, and I won't have that problem. But you can see how tall it's getting. It's just, that's I guess what you call bolting. And I really didn't care because this is the first lettuce I've ever grown. So it just wasn't concerned if it was bolting or whatever, but it's butterhead lettuce, and it's the first butterhead lettuce I have grown in the system that's edible. And this one was really good. Man, I had that, and we had it for lunch. It was a great salad. It was a fantastic salad. And this one is not butterhead. This is called a salad bowl lettuce, but it's bolted as well. But I don't care, because when we cut it off, it's just this big bowl of lettuce, and it's so yummy. And so is the choy sum. All the sampan drivers we gave before the last typhoon. We gave the sampan drivers, and now everybody wants, oh no, give me some, give me some, give me some. But we found out it's this is like just over $3 US for like something that size at the supermarket here. That's 28 Hong Kong dollars, which is about $3.50 US. If for something that size, and we got this, and everybody's, oh, I want it, which is kind of cool. That makes me feel good. It makes me feel we're doing a good thing, and that. So, but anyway, that's what's going on, and we're varnishing and polyester urethane painting, anti-skidding. So this next week is going to be really productive. So I want to kind of put out this video documentary to the Bigfoot. And that's what's happening, guys. So always be good, be safe, and always be well. Bye-bye.